welcome all signs. I have been guided to do 3 more of these readings where it is for any of you out there. You know, before I know, how funny is space-time, because I'm about to do this reading right now, but you've seen the title before I've seen the title. So you've come here for a reason. Whatever the title says, there's something here for you. But until I pull these cards, I don't know what it is. So stick around. The thumbnail and title has told you what's going down. Now I need to find out what's going down. So let's go, right? Starting to shuffle. Please hit the like and subscribe while you are waiting. Please feel free to comment if you find any of this interesting. Same thing coming out. Well, I was going to say same thing. First thing coming out, sacrifice shadow. You need to sacrifice your shadow. The only way you can sacrifice your shadow, I'm talking dark night of the soul, I'm talking depression, I'm talking negative thoughts and feelings, I'm talking about poor mental health and emotional well-being. The only way to truly sacrifice that is to understand what your triumph is, what your success is, what you're desiring and what you're hoping for. You need to have a new beginning and be willing to step forward and go for it. If you're sitting around, oh, I wish my life was better, oh, I just want to be happy, or I just hate this, or I'm sick of this, what are you doing about it? Because hoping and praying is all good and well, but until you move and you remove the fear factor in your mind that tells you, I can't do this, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, you're going to be trapped in a cycle. There's someone here to help you. Ooh, give me a minute. Something else is going on here. I've seen, when I said there's someone else to help you, the deception and envy card came out. I want to look at that because that's giving me polarizing energy. Okay. Straight away, I see that you have the potential to achieve anything you want in this lifetime, but your lack of belief holds you back and it prevents you from winning and succeeding in life. The issue is, when you look at other people that could help you, you get worried that they're not going to help you and you get resentful. You look at other people with spiritual prosperity, a bigger following, more money, and you get jealous and envious of them. And you don't see them as an ally or an alliance that you could work with, watch and evolve from, learn from, be inspired by, but you actually look at them with some kind of resentment. Now that's ingrained in all of us because we're all raised to look at the 1% and hate them and be like, fuck, you know, I wish I had all that money. Oh my God, look at their car, I wish I had that. Look at their house, it's beautiful. Wish my house looked like that. Wish I had what they had. Wish I had what they had. Wish I had what they had. Imagine every time you say you wish you had what they had, that's what you're telling God. That's what you're telling the universe. Over and over again, you're wishing and hoping for what they had. And God's like, you could have that. But you ain't going to have it by sitting and looking at them with a side eye, wishing you could have this and that. You got to go out there. You got to make actions. You got to make plans. You got to go for it. Some of you, trapped in poor housing situations, living with family and friends, moved back home, living in rented accommodation, temporary accommodation, supported accommodation, housing, hostel accommodation, stuff like that. Shitty places that you don't want to be in, patiently waiting. You could be living in a room with several other people, all 3 or 4 of you sharing one bedroom. Really, really fucked up situations that bring you down and weigh on you. And you're suffering in silence because you need a way out. And your heart really does crave more. And you have memories of the times where life was better for you and you're truly happy. And you're holding on to those memories. But you need to have the confidence to walk away. If you go to my reading I put out, it's like about 2 readings or 3 readings before this. It's called The Time Is Now. It's for you to step away from lies, deceit, anything blocking you in your life. And that's because I tell a whole story in there. I'm not going to go into it over here. You need to go and watch that. But that's like a 1 hour and a half intensive spiritual journey we go on. And we talk about everything from shadow and light and dark and how you really listen to spirit and transcend and trust the God in you. If you want to know how to trust your inner voice and the God in you, you're going to have to take the time out to go and watch that for 1 hour and 45 minutes. But the truth of the matter is, if you're living in accommodation that you're not happy with, you have to make the decision to break free of that. If you're living with, my main story was 2 times I was in a situation living in environments that was preventing me from succeeding and becoming the version I wanted to be. The way I talk to you now, the confidence I have in my voice, the lifestyle that I have for myself, I'm still struggling. I'm not still in the greatest position of life. I'm still working my ass off every single day. But I'm in a way better situation because I walked away from ideas of luxury and comfort and what seemed to be family and friend support. And I said, no, this ain't enough with me. This ain't enough for me. This ain't aligned to my higher mission. I'm going to risk having fuck all, being homeless, living on the streets. I'm just going to take me and God and go. Me and God out here, homeless, broke. Because I'd rather that than forced to be in a situation where there ain't no other way out. I'm not telling anyone else to just go out and decide to live on the streets and walk away. from trials and tribulation. But if you're suffering with really fucked up stuff like domestic violence, abuse, financial abuse, all of your money, let me tell you this, I was in a situation for a really long time. All of my money was repeatedly going into somebody else's house and accommodation, and I'm supporting them. I'm supporting their lifestyle for years and years and years. I'm just living in a house, not even really registered at that address, and I'm just providing financially, supporting. Yeah, it's helping me. It's helping me get by. They're helping me. They're not the problem. But where am I on the housing ladder? I ain't got any other money to go into savings. I ain't got any other money to support myself. I'm supporting someone else's living circumstances where I'm not even allowed to be registered at that address. If you know, you know, we've all come from those situations where for whatever reasons, we can't even associate with that address and say we live there. We've got to live over here for a few days, live over here for a few days. So we're not breaching any laws and legislation in regards to council tax and government rules about who can live in the house and how long they can live in the house for. So I'm spending my time, how many times with my boyfriend for a few days, with a friend for a few days, with family for a few days, just so I'm not breaching any of the catchments of the amount of time I'm allowed to stay in someone's house and not pay council tax and not mess up any financial support I'm getting through like student loans or benefits or whatever the hell the case may be. How is that helping you get on the property ladder? How is that helping you find a spouse, a loved one, a partner for the long term? How is that helping you break ancestral curses? How is that helping you prevent you from getting into toxic situations where you're being abused by whoever's living in that house? Because at the end of the day, when you're living under someone's roof, you are their bitch. Mother or not, father or not, yeah? People will be real quick to show you who has the power position and who doesn't when you're living in their house under their roof, confined to their terms and conditions, where you can't breathe left or right or do anything independently on your own, because at the end of the day, under my house, it's my rules. You live in my house, it's my rules. All of that shit. People will use their materialism and their property to one-up you, not realising that you're the one going through psychological abuse, suicidal ideations, mental conflict, trauma, stresses, questioning whether or not you should even continue to live and fucking breathe. But they're just waiting for you to get your next fucking paycheck so you can give them a fat juicy chunk so they can live cushy. It's not cute, it's not nice. And fair enough, everyone needs to get by and everyone needs to pay their way, and we do need to help people out, but it's a really fucked up cycle that you can get yourself trapped into. And I'm talking for experience, especially for someone here who is trapped in a loop. This is for a lot of people that, like, I want to talk about migrants and immigration and people coming over to this country, and you've got a friend who's saying, you know what, you can stay with me, you can stay with me. Pay me your money and you can sleep on my sofa, you can sleep on my couch. And you're working fucking 9 to 5, 8 to 6, you're working flat out 10-hour days, yeah? With minimal time off, and you still got to give majority of your salary to this person who's just giving you a roof over your head so you can sleep on their sofa or on their bed. They don't give a fuck about you. They give a fuck about the money that you're providing them underneath the table. That ain't registered to no one. And you ain't on any housing register, so you can't register to the local council. You can't get your your name on the housing register. You'll be best off getting a fucking tent and living out in the woods, because you're a prison to the system. 10-hour days paying someone else to live in their house where you're not even allowed to really register at that address, plodding along, no way to break that cycle. If you left that job for a minute to breathe and get your mental health back and your bearings back, they're going to kick you out anyway because you're not providing. The moment you say, I'm going to need to cut your money down because I need to start saving money for me now, bitter, resentful, you best watch your back because they don't give a fuck about you now, salty energy is coming in, you ain't providing the coin anymore, they're not happy about it. But you're still living in their house, providing for them, whether they see it or not. But every second and every day you're working on 10-hour shifts, you're going home and getting broker and broker. So you're best off fucking living in a bush, mate. Really fucked up ideology. Once again, I'm not encouraging anyone to go through that, but understand what's out there for you and who can help you. There's loads of hostels around that are free that will support you, right? Well, it's incredibly difficult because actually if you're working, you don't really get any support. The government's never really going to help you. But you need to understand and accept there's another way to go about this. I don't even know how to break it down for all of you or whoever's going through this, because I feel incredibly lucky to get to where I am today. God carried me here. I can't act like it was anything else and I've done it by myself and I'm a bad gal and I'm a CEO and I'm a boss bitch. Rare. I love to gas it up, but if it weren't for God, I wouldn't be here now. I listened to the God in me. I listened to God. I followed his word every single time and he brought me to salvation. Because I wouldn't be here otherwise. I would still be living in an unjust situation in multiple different locations, wishing my life was better when I'm out here working my ass off, being an entrepreneur, leveling up, doing everything in the name of Lord, living with good morals and integrity. But I've got to surround myself with legitimacy, lies, deceit, criminality, abuse, bare bullshit that I don't need to be involved in. Bare things that are not aligned to my true spirit and my true heart. Whoever that's for, I see you and I receive you and you're not alone. Please, I promise you there's another way. I'm going back in for another round of cards because I need the divine to tell me what more you need to know about how to break free of this, because it's a really sticky situation that you're in. I see that. Housing struggles are real. Firstly, you've got the heart. That's the main thing. That's why I'm doing this today. Messages come through letting me know you've got a really good heart. God sees you. God knows exactly what you're going through today. That's why we're here talking about this. He's not going to let you struggle. You're going to be triumphant. Yeah, this is done. This cycle's over. These obstacles and challenges that are in front of your face now, you would understand exactly what I'm saying. You would understand this because in the past you were richer, you were more abundant, and you know why. Wherever you're at, whoever you've moved into, whatever you're doing now, you're being sucked dry. And they can label it like, well, I'm giving you this. I'm giving you food. I'm giving you roof. I'm giving you shelter. I'm giving you love. Whatever it is, you know the truth. You know the truth, and you know what a true alliance and partnership looks like, and you know what that looks like because you remember it from the past. Someone in the past brought you real joy, but they also showed you your shadow side, and you didn't like it because when you were alone, it made you really think about who you were and what you were going through. It made you uncomfortable that this person could be so perceptive and see through you. Yeah? The only reason you should ever be scared when someone sees you so clearly is when you don't see yourself clearly and you don't believe in yourself. And when someone brings the truth to your face, you can't combat it or even take it in because you haven't sat with that truth for you yet. So a lot of inner work has been done for you to heal emotionally and heal your heart. Heart chakra is beautiful. Once again, keep meditating, keep praying, keep talking to God, because God's going to remove all these burdens from your life. I promise you that. God is going to remove all these burdens from your life. You're transforming. Have confidence. Stand in your power. Stand up for what is right. If someone is going to say nah or start giving you attitude and being salty with you, being mean to you, taking food off your plate, cutting short, making new rules and regulations about how you have to live in their house because you're saying I need to pull some money back now because I need to save money for myself. I need to I need to do this now. I need to change the way I'm living or what I'm doing or how I'm helping you out now, because if I keep doing it anymore for you, I have nothing for myself. And they can't see that. They can't see your struggle because they just want to live in a life of luxury where someone else just comes into their house and feeds them and pays them and supports them. Then it's a situation of, you know that you're not meant to be with that person in the first place and they're taken from you. Yeah, you don't need anyone who doesn't truly love you. They take from you. Yeah, and the energy I get is, and what I spoke about in the Time Is Now reading, go and check that out. The Time Is Now. It was an hour and 45 minutes of deep shadow work, deep healing, deep conversations about spirituality and how to listen to the God in you. Yeah, so go and check that out. But either way, it's a situation of you have to know in your heart and soul. You have to know in your heart and soul when people are really for you and not. You can be for anyone in this lifetime. I've been ride or die for so many people. And the truth of the matter is, when it really came down to it, they weren't ride or die for me. And never again now, because of that, and because I've identified that I would have given my life for that person, or that person would have watched me and pissed on me on the pavement, in that same breath, I know I can never let that person back into my life in the same way again. When people show you who they really are, trust it. Trust and believe that motherfucker ain't got you like you've got them. And the worst thing is, when you have such a big heart like you do, and you really do have them, you have to do the most painful thing of all and walk away. Walk away for your sanity. Walk away for your relationship with God. Because every time you choose to have them, well, they'll rather have the devil. They'll rather have greed. They'll rather have gluttony. They'll rather manifest off of your head. They'll rather do whatever it is to contradict, influence, and block your blessings because they don't want to see you prosper. Because if you prosper, you're free. If you prosper, you're going to look better than them in their eyes. You're not competing. It's not a judgment thing. But in their mind, they see it as an obstacle. They see it as a blockage. They see it as you stepping over their head. They don't like that. They would rather you stay confined in their environment with what they've given you. They'll rather look like the beautiful soul in the environment who's providing you and nourishing you. The truth of the matter is, you're nourishing them with your presence and everything you do and the energy that you give off and your kind, loving heart. Because at the end of the day, the money that you're providing to whoever you're providing it to, it ain't shit. But the way that you talk to them, the way that you love them, the energy that you give off, all the time and effort and care and cleaning, whatever you're doing in that environment, you are giving way more than they're giving you. And that's before we even talk about the money that you're giving them. So understand, whoever I'm talking to, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. My words are not minced here in one bit. I clearly see this for you. And I relate. I'm talking from experience as well. Really channeling this energy. I see what you've been through because I've been through something similar. And it forced me to break away. On multiple occasions I've had to do this in different circumstances. In relationships in my life as well. People that I genuinely love and care about. Romantic relationships that in my heart and soul I knew it couldn't work long term. Because I know, like, you get into a relationship with someone and you can see their manipulative traits. You can see how they're going to control you. You can see little things in their behaviour that seems a little bit not okay now. But imagine that. You've only known them for a month or 2 months or 3 months, 6 months in. You're seeing this behaviour just keeping cropping up again. What's it going to be like a year from now, 2 years from now? Yeah? See the signs of abuse. Domestic, financial, emotional, whatever it is, psychological, it's there. And it's a trigger, and it's a warning, and it's a sign to get out, and it's a sign to liberate yourself and be free, because you already know what freedom looks like because you had it in the past. You know who you've been with, who you've been around, and what's caused you to be happy versus where you're at now and why it causes you to be sad. So don't stay in it. Yeah? Pack up, get your shit and move on to freedom. There's a way to do it. Don't do it blindly. Don't do it without backing up, because I don't want anyone out here to suddenly be homeless on the street with no place to live. It's cold out there. It's not the right season just to be going gung-ho and balls to the walls. But find a solution. Start Googling your local area. See what initiatives and schemes are out there. See how you can get yourself into a healthier place where you ain't got to rely on anyone else, or anyone else looks down on you or puts you in a position where you're their bitch because you live under their roof. While you're providing and supporting them, and when you try and take a little bit of coin to put in your pocket to save for a rainy day, because at the end of the day, if you stop paying them and you stop your job, you ain't got nothing. You fall out with them, you ain't got a house. Your manager don't want you there, you ain't got nothing. So every single day you keep working at that job, every single day you keep living under that roof and paying, you still are in the red. In reality, your ledger's red, and it ain't cute. And you know it, because you know what it looks like when your ledger's clean. So let's clean up your ledger and get you right, okay? I'm going to be back soon with more.